looking to force a turnover. And they do. Tyndall's outside. It's Cohen. And out on the full.
England really picking up the pace of the game now and intensity as well. Australia going one off with George Smith. They're looking for turnovers, England. They know there's a chance. They know they've got nearly one finger on this William Webb Ellis Trophy, and they want to put more points on the board before half-time.
It's been a consummate performance by this England team, led by their all-powerful pack. Larkham, Saylor trying to join the line. 9 from halfway. Gregan. And George Smith straight into Neil Back. 12 from halfway. 1 try apiece, but Wilkinson's goal kicking has been the difference. So too the England defence in this first half. Harrison. Now Larkham. And Mortlock. Well, he was the furthest man for Australia to pass to there. And Nathan Sharp.
Australia got to be careful they don't turn over the ball here.
Referee blows it for half-time, and the England fans are dominating as far as the sound is here at Telstra Stadium. 14-5. 40 minutes remain to decide the world champion. And it's Ben Cohen inside his quarter. Wendell Saylor with a quick line out here for Matt Rogers. England's chases up very quickly. Good reply from Rogers. Robinson. And on his left boot. Remember when he came from rugby league, he couldn't kick to save himself. But a very handy kick there on his unfamiliar leg. And midway 22 and halfway.
Also a good recovery from Robinson as well, but Matt Rogers, good decision. He would have been keen to a counter-attack early in this first half, chose to put it up, because Australia have to stay down in the English territory.
And this is where Australia must dominate. They must get clean possession in the line-out because they are struggling at the moment at the back of the scrum, and they lose it.
Just whisked away there by Ben Kay. Martin Johnson was quick to seize on the bouncing ball. Wilkinson. This is Tyndall. And he got a hefty boot in there, and England almost out of their territory.
You can see both teams have got a fresh set of jerseys on. See England, another set of jerseys, also Australia, changing shorts and socks. They want to start the game fresh in the second half.
At half-time, Clive Wood would have been saying to his forwards, you must pressure him at the breakdown, you must pressure him at the scrum, and you must pressure him at the line-out. And he does it again.
Martin Johnson. And this is Greenwood. Little step, flatly waiting for him. Johnny Wilkinson to Johnson. Into a nice channel, but Sharp was waiting for him. England to the 10-metre line. Robinson into first receiver.
Australia have to get their hands on the ball at the breakdown. England are getting far too quick ball. Look, pick and drive. Delalio goes as well.
Here's Tyndall. Charging into George Smith. Good clean out from the England forwards. And now Wilkinson. This is Neil Back. Sterling Mortlock, the defender out there. Phil Vickery and Brendan Cannon, supported by Phil Waugh. Robinson getting involved early on. Johnson straightening.
Well, who said the English were boring and they weren't going to play this game? Multiple phases. They're just going to keep hammering and hammering at Australia till they crack and make a mistake. Has Australia got the nerve?
That was a brilliant tackle by Phil Waugh on Wilkinson. 9th phase here for England. And some obstruction. Players in front of the ball carrier.
Just took him out, number 6. Obstruction.
And it's against Lawrence Delalio.
I think it's there, Richard Hill, number 6
Richard
for
Hill.
England. Just getting in the way of Phil Waugh to try and make a tackle on Ben Cohen. Thought he was in for a World Cup try, but Australia now just got to sort of gain their composure in this first 3 or 4 minutes, second half. This is when George Gregan really he's talking to his team, telling them what's going to happen in the next couple of phases. And they've got to lift the game, lift the intensity of this match.
Clive Woodward had 5 years out here with the Manly club. Manly Oval tonight, there are 10,000 people. 2/3 of those backpackers, I believe, watching the live telecast. Manly the home base for the England team.
And that's the third line out in a row Australia have lost.
Wilkinson clearing it to Tyndall. Outside his 22, so he wanted to keep it just inside the touchline. And as per the script, 50-metre gain.
And that's about the third time that has happened tonight. Mike Tyndall taking the pressure off Wilkinson. Matt Rogers has to read that a little bit early and try and come across, because he can't rely on his winger Lottie Takiri. Takiri's up in the defensive line.
Tim Horn, you're down right where the line out is at the moment. How's the body language of the Australian team?
Well, they're still talking, they're still encouraging each other, but England, they ran to that line and they sprinted there. They wanted to be there first and put Australia under pressure. The body language of the England have really picked up.
England putting a lot of pressure on the Australian line out, but Harrison firm that time. Gregan working to Sharp. And now Rogers on that favoured left boot. And he'd be happy with that one. Just 7 metres from the halfway line. Australia know they have to score first in their second half. 14-5.
What's Eddie Jones thinking? Is he thinking any replacements this early in the second half? Matt Kiddo still warming up on the sideline.
Well, Tim Horn, would he be looking at bringing on Joe Roth?
He hasn't been warming up. He's still in his tracksuit, sitting not far away from me. Not at this stage, I don't think.
Larkham to Flatley and Lyons. Brendan Cannon provided that little bit of magic there as Johnson won the line out. And Cannon picked up the rebound.
I'll tell you who will be coming on soon. That's David Giffen. He's warming up, and it's a good kick by George Gregan, finds touch. David Giffen just there on the bottom of your screen. The lineouts haven't been functioning well for Australia. David Giffen just there on the bottom of your screen. The lineouts haven't been functioning well for Australia. They need to get David Giffen on the field to reorganise their lineout.
The lineout's fallen apart, Tim, for Australia. 23 metres out.
Australia have lost 5 lineouts. They need to get someone like Giffen in there now if they're going to strengthen it back up.
Matt Gitto also warming up. Confident throw up the back. Australia come away. A bad one from England. That's their 4th line-out loss. Their 5th on their own throw as well. Big clean out from Saylor. Penalty to the Wallabies.
Number 8 for England, Lawrence Delelio.
And Georgie Gregan couldn't point at those sticks quick enough.
Elton Flatley to line up. It's England leading by 14-5.
Here we see Lawrence Delelio, number 8, not staying behind the last feet when the ruck had formed. He's going, yep, probably fair call, sir.
This is Flatley's favourite distance. Very handy to the posts. He hasn't missed one of these kicks in the tournament.
I spoke to Elton Flatley on Thursday on the Wallabies day off. He was very relaxed. He was actually out buying a new set of golf clubs. Well, I hope he can hit this one as straight as he hopes to hit those clubs.
This would bring Australia back to within 6 of the front-running Englishmen. Correction. 6 points. The 2 touch judges just acknowledge to confirm the accuracy, and it's 6 points the difference.
You can give that 3 points to Brendan Cannon. He was the man who breached that solid English defence. He got the Australians going forward. They were able to build momentum. But now the question is, can they keep going with that momentum? We see Giffen coming onto the field and Nathan Sharp being replaced.
And Nathan Sharp, he'll be disappointed to be coming off the field. His first World Cup final, but it's a team effort. And David Giffen goes on to strengthen the line out up.
Giffen, the Australian vice-captain. And Larkham. And he's gained about 25 metres only as Australia creep up towards halfway, but the Wallabies getting that first score of the second half. It's England by 14-8.
It is so important for England here to keep attacking like they did in the first half. They're not the sort of team that can put their back on the ropes and say, come and have a shot at me.
Ben Kay to Hill. Call from Paddy O'Brien there, not in straight. Both hookers having a tough time of it with the slippery ball.
But it's important for Australia here. They're under tremendous pressure in the first half with their scrum. Baxter's got to have it nice and solid. The English scrum, it's gone to the ground here. They'll come back and bring it in, but they need to get the big hit and keep the hit, and Baxter has to bring up his side of the scrum.
Bill Young losing his footing.
It's it.
I get a hell of a lot of advice. You're not guilty, you're not guilty, everybody's not guilty. Now you get the binding right, but I'll blow you off. Just get the binding right, both of you.
Well, the referee's being clear there. Australia are going to try and get as close as they can to the English to try and nullify that big hit from their big tack.
Oh, that's a tough ball.
Don't go down again, then look in line.
Very tough ball from Andre Watson saying the scrum went all the way around. England feed to the scrum now.
It looked like Lions had actually taken that scrum off the back, but tremendous pressure being put through on Alistair Baxter up his side. They turn the scrum around. If it wheels and the ball doesn't come out, then it goes to the opposition, England scrum.
England scrummed right on top at the moment. The Australians almost feeling as though they're on roller skates. Greenwood. Tyndall. And he was thumped into the turf. Larkham came over the top. Now Cohen with Robinson. Mortlock stuck to him. Back, flicking it. Johnson was there. And David Giffen in for the tackle.
Johnson's done well. He still looked after the ball.
Juggled by Greenwood. Elton Flatley assisted by David Lyons. Mike Tyndall again. He sliced it. Things just going against England at the moment. A little break for the Aussies. And the line out in England's territory.
And Tim, that rain seems to be starting to come down again.
Yeah, it's just light rain at the moment, Dan, but this gives an opportunity for Australia now. England, there's a few little dents in their armour, and this is when Australia has to hit back. England have maintained the pressure for a long time now.
So rain into the faces of the England team. And pinched by Martin Johnson. Wilkinson out in the midfield. Called by Tyndall, and Cohen is grabbed by Saylor. Robinson coming into scrum half. Very strong rain at the moment. Bumping into his own man. So that's very careless play from the England team. And these little indiscretions are allowing Australia to really come back into this game.
Oh, it's terrific defence. The Australian backline moving up and putting the English backline under pressure. Wendell Saylor making a fabulous hit on Ben Cohen as George Gregan decides to go for 3 points. A long way out for Elton Flatley in these conditions.
Johnny Wilkinson kicked a couple from here at this distance in the first half. It's 14-8.
And the penalty was for obstruction. Number 15, Josh Lucy, impeding the defenders from Australia.
Well, tonight, Gordon, you're saying there's about 60% Australian, 40% English crowd, 82,957 here tonight. Massive amount.
So just a tick under 83,000. That is the biggest crowd in Rugby World Cup history.